Okay, we are live on Facebook. Just going to open it up on my phone and then I can share it out. Welcome everybody. Yep, there we go.
Okay.
Turn my phone down.
If I it's better if I share it, right? Because you
Yeah.
tagged me in it, but it's better if I share it.
Yeah.
Public. Okay. Now.
Okay.
I'll share it out also.
So just bear with us 1 or 2 moments while we
Some
share.
groups. Where I see already 11 people. Good evening, everybody. That's nice.
Alrighty.
Bear with us. If you just joined in, we are sharing it out.
So James Flanagan says the backdrop is epic.
Thank you very much.
You should also be able to share some more of your codes as we go along.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, welcome everyone to Love Speaks Love. I'm Denise, your host, and this is Michael White Feather Nilaaya. And I'll let you do a bit of an introduction in a sec, Michael, when you're ready. But I've known Michael, I don't even know how long, a couple of years now. And we connected, first of all, through an online gathering that Unity Grace held. And then since then, we've done quite a lot of light language stuff together. And similar journeys in the light language way. We both do written codes. And I want to ask you a bit more about that, Michael, as we go on, like how long you've been doing those for.
Mm-hmm.
But I think while we've got quite a few people here, I think I will just start off. So this is called Love Speaks Love, and it's about us connecting from our hearts, sharing experiences, ceremony. And my dream is for more of us on the planet to be in our heart space, to be living from our heart space. So I'll just start off by inviting us to bring our energy, our awareness into our heart space, in the center of our chest. And let us breathe in love. And connecting my heart now to Michael's heart, to the hearts of all of you watching, either live now or on the replay or on YouTube. Connecting our hearts to the heart of Gaia, to the heart of the sun, to the heart of the moon, to the heart of Source Creator. And as all of our hearts connect, just visualizing a beautiful web of golden light and love, weaving its way around Gaia, going down into the New Earth templates and the crystalline matrix, and into the very heart of Gaia. Okay, so Michael, welcome to Love Speaks Love. It's lovely to have you here.
Lovely to be here.
And what would you like to share, if anything, about yourself and what you're doing on the planet?
All right. First of all, Um, what is it that I do? Has a lot of facets. I do a lot of beautiful things, very creative. I love to make music. I love to design. I love sharing space with people. I do energy healing work on myself with other people. Sound healing, light language, drawing, also light language drawn, editing in the computer, making videos. I do conscious conversation with people to help them get from 3D to 4 or 5D. Um, so everything is kind of, it's very wide, but that's what I love to do. Most of all, I would say I love to help people um, smile again, and to make them understand that if they change the way they look at things, the things that they look at change. And it's about seeing. It's about daring to take another perspective. Um, so that's basically what I do. Um, my music is meant to dance, to enjoy, to express, um, to go in, to close your eyes, to listen to. It's like kind of trips. The music that I make for activations is a different kind of music, but it has the same source. Actually, I work with a lot of sources that just come through me. Um, I don't ask for it; it's just happening. And sources like Sirius, Pleiades, Arcturians, um, Jeshua, a lot of aspects. So there's a lot coming through, and I just let it go, and that's what I do. I'm in the moment, and like to answer your question, I started like 2 years ago with a drawing. Suddenly, I needed to draw after these meetings with Unity Grace online. I felt the urge to use my voice, which I always had, but I did it inside. And I started to draw, and um, I just had to do it. And making sounds became much stronger. So if I'm, it doesn't matter really what I do. I'll be making sounds or speaking light language. Even to my cat, I will speak to him in light language. Why? I don't know. It's just happening. So it's very natural, actually, since I surrendered to, okay, if that's what I feel like doing, I better do it. Beautiful things start to happen.
How
So
long have you DJ'd for? Is that been a long, and your music producing, has that been a long time?
yeah, I've been producing music since 2002, 3. I started. So I started to learn how to make music on a computer. Um, and then I left it for a while. The last 7 years, I didn't really produce new kind of dancing tracks. Um, but I did find some old work that I tweaked a bit and put my own vocals under it, and then I made a video of it, and I was amazed. I totally forgot about the music, and I find something on a hard disk, and I thought, oh, how's it possible? I made it, I forgot about it, but now this music and the codes that I just made, I understood it all came from the same place. So many years back, it already was coming from a certain place that I didn't know. I wanted to be a DJ producer that would travel the world and be a DJ and a nightlife, you know. But that didn't happen in that way. Um, which was, of course, not meant to happen in that way. Uh, and so now it comes from a different place. I am working on some ideas, but I didn't make a full new dance track yet. But I do make activations, which are different kind of music. What was the question again?
And were you still living in Holland when
Yeah,
you were DJing? Yeah.
yes, yes.
So when did you move to Israel?
2011 September, I moved to Israel. Yeah, and my life changed from that moment on. It already did because before I left, I knew that I would be doing healing work and guiding or mentoring because I understood really what Greg Braden was talking about, Bruce Lipton,
Yeah.
consciousness of no, the biology of belief,
Mhm.
epigenetics. I already understood that then, so that's what I was going to do with the rest of my life, and so it happened. But I didn't know I was going to be doing light language and making funny noises and drawing these kind of things that you see on the backdrop and that people have amazing experiences with it when looking at them or when listening to the activations. I didn't know that was going to be that just came, and I gave it a place because for me in the beginning it was like really, you know, but that's what it is.
So your awakening already started in Holland, but landing in Israel,
Yes,
that must have been huge in terms of the energy there. That I would imagine that in itself would have really shaken things in your energy field, like really starting even further that awakening process.
yes, definitely, definitely. I had a big experience in the Sea of Galilee, which is in the north. There's a big monastery. I forgot the name, but I was standing there. We got a tour which was amazing, and I just visited a few weeks ago with my sister, who is now in Egypt. Um, um, we were there together, and so I was there in 2011, and I stood on a balcony in the end of the tour, big balcony, and I look down, and there's a huge statue of Jesus sitting with his disciples, and you look down and you see the Sea of Galilee. It's a beautiful spot. And I'm standing there and I'm watching everything. And only a few weeks ago, I understood what I was feeling when I was standing there because it happened kind of again, but with my sister. She expressed what she was experiencing, and I said, that's it. That was what I was experiencing. So I could, it was like I could feel everything that happened, that like I lived it all, sadness, joy. My eyes started to tear, and the tears were falling, like really, it was flowing down my face like a waterfall, soft, warm, and now I understand that aspect really came in, and during many sessions after, with a young girl in India, I did many distant sessions just by thought, and she would describe after 15 minutes they would have to wake her in her sleep from her sleep. She would say what she experienced, and always Jeshua or Jesus, whatever you want to call him, the his presence was there in her dreams, in her travels, and she would describe the most amazing detailed things that she experienced during these 15 minutes. And so I understand that aspect is really always here when I do my work or talking now. It's always here, and I understood that it was always there. Actually, I was always looking for voice or for confirmation, and now I understand it's just this is what's coming through always. It's not a separate voice.
Yeah.
So that was very profound. When I came here, I thought it had to do with my Jewishness, but now I understand that being Jewish is just that has nothing to do with anything at all, because being Jewish or being Christian or Muslim or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't exist for me. It keeps us actually separated from unity consciousness, where there is no countries, no borders, no nothing that will separate us, that will make us different. Or it's good that we are different expressions, but come from the same source. So that was confusing in the beginning, because I always resisted religion. My mom tried to raise me kind of Jewish, but I didn't want that, and I could also not be in the church um, at my father's side. My father and my mother divorced when I was very young, so I saw two worlds, and both I didn't like actually. So I resisted both, because deep down, as a child, I had these visions of the time that we are in actually right now. I knew that one day we could heal without medicine and there would be no more war, and I actually thought I could do the same as Jesus, but I didn't speak about it because just didn't do it. I put it away for a long time. Um, where was I? Ah, so coming here was kind of um, I came for love, but I knew it had a higher purpose. So I thought first it was to get back with my roots, but then I thought, no, 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 it has nothing to do with being Jewish and going home, and no, it's has a much bigger purpose. So I'm actually kind of a light here in this country where they really need light, because um, they live very closed, in a very closed consciousness. You know, I heard religious people here on television. I was shocked. Religious people, Jerusalem, say that everything that's not Jewish is here to serve them. I was like, wow, really? That's the consciousness. So yeah. So I woke up more here. It's like I'm still waking up day by day to new things and um, epiphanies, higher understandings, deeper insights.
So I've never been to Israel. There's somewhere that I've been energetically, um, and I see this very kind of sandy ground, and I think like cliff faces as well. And when I mentioned this to two Israeli guys that I knew in Australia, they kind of laughed because they said it sounded like really one of the most holy places, and I can't remember where they said that was. But I'm curious how the energy feels. Like you mentioned your experience at the Sea of Galilee, and Mount Sinai is popping into my head as well as another really hotspot kind of place.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also, I would feel such a lot of shadow as well, because there's been so much pain, um, so much suffering that's happened there
I
as
didn't get
well.
that.
So
Ah.
much pain and so much suffering that's happened there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you go to these really strong energy spots, how does it feel? How is it there?
Well, for example, Jerusalem, we visited that with my sister a few weeks ago, and already going there is like, for me, no, I don't need to be there, because I can feel from here the many energies and many thought forms, and um, um, it's like one big battle place there,
Mm.
energetically, for me, because there's a lot of religions, there's a lot of ideas, ideologies, a lot of suffering, and for me, we were working there in the old city, and it felt like, I don't know why I had to say it, but Babel. So Holy Land, I think the whole world is the Holy Land. There is high energy places, of course, but there's nothing holy about any place for me.
Yeah. And do you
And
work a
I,
lot
I, I
around?
I also believe that making something holy is um, like, this is holy and there it's not. It's causing separation.
Mm. Yeah, good point. And to me, I feel it more in terms of the energy. So some places have stronger energy than others because the energy of the ley lines or whatever is stronger. But even that I feel is changing, and I think I feel a lot of the work that we're doing
Hmm.
is kind of creating new hotspots as well. It feels, for example, where I am, the energy here feels really strong, but it feels like it's beneath the surface. And
Mm.
it feels like some of the work that myself and other people are doing is kind of bringing it up a little
Hmm.
bit,
Hmm.
um, and creating these new energy pathways. And my feeling with ourselves is that we're creating new, especially crystalline pathways in the body. And I can only assume that that is happening in the earth as well, that that's part of the
Yes.
new kind of energy lines are more crystalline.
Hmm. Definitely. Brian was speaking about the whole crystalline grid, that it's actually being um, transmuted, or it's new.
Yeah.
It's so all the old suffering will not be there anymore. It is actually cleaning itself,
Wow.
the
Yeah.
whole grid. Yeah.
And have you done much work on the land, like clearing work? Is that something that you do normally, or are you more bringing the new frequencies in?
Yeah, actually more
Yeah.
that, not specifically on the land. Um, but I know that just by being here, I'm affecting my direct environment and for many miles. So I think that is the most, that's why I'm here. Otherwise, I would probably be traveling and doing land stuff. And but I'm mostly here in this place. We have a huge stargate outside and a portal in the house, which Rick confirmed for us. I didn't know about the portal in our house. I cannot see it, but Rick would. Um,
And that's Rick, for those that don't know, that's Rick Dewars, isn't it?
yes, Rick Jewers.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Um, what was the question again? Ah, so no, I really work with people. That is my specialty, actually.
Mm-hmm.
People can come for one time and they don't need to come back. It happens, which is amazing, really amazing. And that's what I love doing, really the most, is to hear somebody say, "Wow, thank you so much. I can move on from here." That's the best thing to experience.
Yeah.
Smile, and somebody's light is on, and from there they can take it. Because if you understand that your consciousness is really um, being expressed through your body, um, then you know that you can also heal yourself. And when I do energy sessions, that's just to assist people
Mm-hmm.
in the now, so that they can work on their consciousness pain free, so
Yeah.
that it's not a disturbance. But
So do you work on the person as a whole,
Hmm.
or do you focus on energy centers, or how does that work for you?
No, I don't focus at all. I'm just sharing space with somebody is already enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what I do or, but I do, but I don't have. I will just let my hand go where it needs to go.
Yeah.
But I do the whole body, the whole energy field, everything, because why not? you know, why to focus only on, oh, I've got pain here. No, I will do everything, and because people often have things that they're not even aware of. So
So when um and I'm asking this because this is partly how I work. It's like my hands and my eyes. So for
mhm.
me, it's like moving my hand along the body, and then you'll feel resistance, or
Yes.
you'll feel prickles. I might get visuals with that as well, but it is like my hands and my eyes.
Hmm.
And it's also like my hands go deep into the body. So I could be above the body or I could be on the body. But either way, it's like the energy from my hands, and my hands basically are going deep into the body.
Hmm.
Um, is that so? That's kind of how it is for you as well.
Yeah, I have crazy sensations in my hands. Like sometimes it can even feel like somebody put a knife
Yeah.
through the center of your hand, or sometimes my hand will do by itself, or you know, it will just do stuff that I'm like, okay, but it, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can really be very uncomfortable, and I can feel it in my whole. So I will guide it away. And somebody said the first shamanic session that I did here in this room with a friend. He was lying on the bed, and I was doing my thing. And near the end, I I felt that my hand was actually stuck in a certain point
Yeah.
where where I knew that he had something, but I didn't know exactly where. And at one point, it got stuck, and I felt like making a very loud sound. And but in the same time, I was like, but maybe he will freak out, because he's lying there with his eyes closed, and I'm making my sounds and light language. And but I really felt that it had to be very powerful. And so in a split second, I was there, and shall I do it? Not do it? Do it? Not? And I decided to do it, and the sound didn't come out like it should. So I stopped it, and I took a breath, and then I made the sound, and I pulled my hand out like that. And after I asked him, listen, how was that for you? He said, listen, you don't know what happened. It was amazing, first of all. So I said, it didn't freak you out? He said, no, 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 no. It was amazing. But he said, you know what happened? It was like you pulled something out of me, like, and he explained like this guy in the Green Mile when he releases all that stuff through his throat, like that's how he felt, like something was taken out of his body.
Yeah.
So, and that was really intense in my mind. It really hurt.
Yeah.
Hurt is not the word, but it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. I hear that totally. And sometimes like the sharp sensations,
mm-hmm.
um, it is almost, it feels like your hand is over a spike or a knife or something. And as you run your hand through, you get that sensation. Because I get more sensations in my hands than in my own body.
Uh-huh.
Although I'm clairsentient, it's most intense in my hands. Rather, some people will, when they're sensing the body, they'll get the sensations in their own body, which I
Mm.
do to a point, but it's more in my hands. Um, and yeah, then you pull things out, and their pain is gone as well.
Yes, yes. I have crazy experiences that people come in 5 minutes. They come. Also, a friend, he has a plate on his knee. He had a very bad accident, and they had to put a plate, which sometimes it hurted him when he was walking, and certain shoes would hurt him. So he said, listen, you did the other healing that went very well. He said, let's see if you can do this. I don't think you can do it because it's a plate. So, what can you do about a plate? But I will, I'm willing to try. So I said, okay, come. So he said, and we do the treatment, and he gets up and he says, I cannot believe it. I have no pain. I could not believe it, like you cannot, I cannot believe it that that really just happened. So, that opens doors to what we really believe is essential. And we have to learn how to speak a new language. There's so many words that we should not use because they have been created on purpose with a meaning that we are not aware of, but we are using it in such a way that that meaning is being expressed, whether we understand it or not. But that's what's happening. Sorry, I went off there.
No, I hear you on words, and words hold energy. Um, and when I became a Reiki master, one of the things that I was taught was to be mindful of your language, because you're creating with your language. And I am, and whatever comes after it, especially, is so key.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and words, yeah, they hold an energy, and they hold a resonance as well.
Yes, yes.
And
And words that we don't know that have like actually a negative meaning, like a mirror meaning, that like the word virus, for example. The, that word is going to be forbidden at one point because when we say that word, I'm not going to use it again, but the use of the word is actually where is the problem. And I saw a video of a guy that explaining that very well, and it has to do with natural law. We believe in trust law, right? The law that we have to that we live by, the laws in America or here, or those are man-made laws,
mm,
but they are not here to serve us. And you will see that very soon many words will not be allowed anymore in mainstream media because they have a ill intent. So lots of things are going to change. So we have to learn how to speak a new language, really.
mm.
I call it universal NLP. UNLP.
So that moves me on to the light language.
Mm.
Um, so that really started coming through about 3 years ago. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that. We just moved in this house. Yeah, yeah. How
And
long ago it was with Unity Grace in that meeting? Because from that we went. I saw you also in Yukiya's group,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that was around 3 years, 2 years, two and a half, maybe something
I
like that.
think I think it was, yeah, 2017. I think it was the summer of
Mm-hmm.
2017. And I can't remember if you were on this call, but around, I think, it's so, I can't do time very well, especially in the last 3 years or so.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, the calls with Yuki has started. I think maybe they started in 2018.
Yeah. So it's like 3 years ago that it started. I got introduced to it actually. And I remember also because at one point I was in my mom's house. I went to Holland to take care of my mom because she had a surgery in her back. She had a cyst in her spine, and and I was doing one of these calls, and but it was in my mom's house, so she at one point she opened the door and she said, What's going on here?"
Is that one of the ones with you, Kia?
Yeah, that was with Yuka.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? When kind of old you, it's you remember old you. So, just for a bit of background that those of you don't know, I used to be a nurse and I was very scientific in the way that I viewed the world. The body I looked at through the biomedical model, didn't believe in energy, didn't believe in treatments like reflexology or anything like that. Um, and this doesn't really happens. It doesn't really happen anymore. But especially when I started on my journey, which was through learning Reiki, it was like old me was looking at new me, going, "What?" And that was, that is really tame in comparison to the light language and the codes that come through now. And it takes a fair amount of courage, really, to be standing up and doing what we're doing now. Um, and I don't think it always will. I think times are changing. But, it does sound a bit weird,
it
especially if
is.
you've heard it before.
Yes, yes, and I can totally understand it. But yeah, if you have to do it, you have to do it. You know.
Yeah, and
So,
it's quite funny as well. Some of the sounds that come through just make me giggle.
uh, yeah, me too, me too. Yeah, yeah, it is funny, but it's also freeing. It's I feel amazing when I do it. It takes me to another place. Um, you're not thinking, you're not intellectually busy.
Yeah.
So it's like self nurture. You know, I make sounds s- since a long time, but I always did it inside. But um, I was always humming. And when I learned how to breathe, that became stronger even. So I started to use breath and sound, and so I just grew into it in a way. I didn't learn Reiki or I just went out and did it, and I thought that if I believe it, something is going to happen, and so it did. That's how it happened. Yeah.
And a lot of mine in the early days was more in the form of tones. Like I got one sentence through in the end of 2011, one like light language sentence, and then nothing else really for a long time. But for many years, I'd been doing light language with my hands. I just didn't realize that was what it was. And in
Mm.
sessions, I would be doing things with my hands. Um, but what I felt comfortable doing was singing tones over the body because that was a bit less weird. Um, but everyone actually that, and this was when I was working at the backpackers as well. So people were from all over the world, and they were used to hearing many different languages because people spoke many different languages, and they just seemed really open to it. And I would explain it that the energy comes through my hands, but it also comes through my voice as well. It's just another way of the energy coming through. And it might come through in tones or it might sound like words.
And the eyes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely through the eyes. Um, and what most people say is that it feels like home.
Hmm. Yes, yes, that's what I hear as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
And it bypasses the mind. Like our lateral mind can't make sense of it. It's got nothing to kind of
grab on.
do, but it goes straight to the heart. And there's no point for our linear I meant to say before, there's no point for our linear mind to try and understand it really because it won't necessarily.
Yeah, it's meant to not actually.
Yeah, yeah. And so the codes that you bring through,
Hmm.
do you do those for people individually? I know you do them for the collective, like the ones.
Also,
Yeah,
also, yeah, customized. Um, I didn't do a lot yet, but yeah, I do that. I can make videos, I can make audios, whatever,
Yeah.
customized. Yeah, yeah.
Would you like to share some of the codes? Does that feel a good time to do that for you?
Like some drawings.
Yeah.
Okay, just a second. Now I have to share screen, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so okay. Now, mm, okay, I have to do it like this.
Just bear with us while we do this technology stuff. I tend to
Just a
be
second.
very right brain when doing things like this, so the technical stuff and the stuff of the left brain is always a bit of a challenge.
Okay, now, there. But I have to make it like this probably. Share. Okay. Let's see, how's that?
Oh wow,
You see something?
yeah, absolutely.
Yes?
Okay, so
So this one I just made before the second activation we did for 5 crystals around the pyramid in Giza,
yeah,
which I left codes behind a long time ago that I had to activate with light language sound, which we did. So this is what I made on the day of the second activation, and the middle one. Can you see the mouse also here?
yes,
So this one, the middle one, is the original one, but not from how I drew it on paper. So I added a bit the outsides, but the rest is all original. And these are um, how do you say, edits from it. Like I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so how do I go out of here? Okay, next one.
and I will just say while you while you're doing that, um, that even just looking briefly at these codes, there will be an activation that takes place.
Yes, and it can do any kinds of things like activate your languages, your talents, your passions. It can activate all kinds of things that you are not aware of, that we are not aware of. Um, okay, this for example is an older one. It's from 12/12, uh, 2019,
Mhm.
and these are source code guardian codes. And you see the original behind me. That's this one.
Right.
So here you see
Now that's not
um,
changed actually. We're still on
what?
this
Ah,
is still the first one that you put up.
okay, just a second.
Oh wow.
You
Right,
get
so
it?
that's the one behind you.
Yeah, that's the one behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a combination of two separate codes that I drew in different times, like a few months in between. The brown parts on both sides, they come from the emerald guardians from Earth,
Yeah.
and the blue is from the 22 galaxies, the diamond, 22 diamond galaxies,
Mm.
guardians. And Yukaya told me that they work together, which I didn't know.
Mm.
And this code is actually for all of us, or all of those that were still with one foot in the old and one foot in the new. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Sorry, I was just lost it.
And you see that I wrote down it from character to care actor. So we are losing the characters, the roles, the old conditioned self, and we move on to being a care actor. We're all actors here in a big play of consciousness. And now we are moving into a time where we connect back to care. Um, you see that here, for example, you see the mouse in the screen.
Yeah,
This is the head,
yeah.
right? It's kind of Egyptian kind of drawing.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And Yukiya explained me that the head looks so big because the pineal gland is going to grow our crystal in the head,
yeah.
which will eventually make the head have to adjust to the size. Here in the middle is a codex. I don't really know what it really means.
Yeah.
That's not my function. My function is just to make it and to put it out. And there's people that know what it means, and that's how we all work together. I don't have to
Hmm.
know everything. And it's actually kind of, um, how do you say that? It's makes it easier for me. I don't really have to understand it. I just want to do.
Yeah.
And by just doing, and I don't have to think, the the highest outcome will present itself.
I just glanced at my phone at that moment, and there's 33 people watching just now. Just about to say that, um, and also 3 and 3 being 6 on either side there, above the brown. What looks like circles, but they're actually hexagons, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Is that to me feels like that's looking down the DNA?
Mm-hmm.
Do you were you given anything for those bits?
So can you repeat that again?
It
Show
reminds
me.
me of almost like a cross section of the DNA, like looking into the DNA, obviously on a microscopic level.
The brown part, you mean?
No, the hexagons that are above the brown part, so they look like,
Ah, okay,
yeah.
yeah. Um,
Hexagons have been coming in for me a lot. Some of the geometry that comes through when I use my hands in activations feels quite snowflake like.
mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, hexagons are such an important geometry.
Just let me check something. Yeah, it is activating dormant DNA.
Right.
It brings in algorithms, codex sequence of new creation codes. The
Yeah.
DNA is being switched on gradually. New body template, future self, new Earth human. It's from
Yeah. And the little in
Sirius B.
right.
Yeah.
And there's something in the middle where the codex are beneath that. Kind of looks a bit like a heart trace, but not quite.
Yeah, it's my signature. It's my logo.
Ah, gotcha.
Michael White Feather.
Ah, of course.
But
Nice.
yeah, it looks like a wave, like a
Yeah,
heartbeat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Is there
Let
another
me
you want
see.
to go to?
Just a second. Yeah, I will show you now. Um, okay, stop share. Another one. Where is it? Ah, okay. So this is a Kaleido
Yeah,
of it. One of the 29 that I have.
yeah.
So I make the drawings. Then I edit them in Photoshop. I take away the backgrounds. Sometimes, but that is really sometimes when I feel something was not should not be in it, I take it away.
Yeah.
But that rarely happens because I really want to leave them as it is.
Hmm.
Um, so I edit it in Photoshop and then I put it into a kaleidoscope program.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for things that make me go, wow.
Yeah.
And then I save it and then I move on. So that is kind of an intensive process
Yeah.
and fun.
And when you draw these by hand at first,
Yeah.
you draw them by hand and then you put them into Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
Are the colors that you use, or do you change those in Photoshop?
No, I change it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I change it. And that's also random because the brown was before it was orange, I think, or blue. No, blue.
Right.
Uh, where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I do play with the colors. Um, and I play until I get a yes.
Yeah.
And okay, so let's see if we have another nice one. Random. Okay. So there's the thing of the DNA again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's got that has one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, yeah, 10 aspects to that flower.
Mm-hmm.
One, two, three, excuse me, counting. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Yeah, 10. Beautiful.
And let's see. Just a second. I have to make it a bit bigger so that I can show you. Oh, this is a beautiful one.
Wow.
Mm. It's like technology for me.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting you say that because I was guided to bring some codes in for the EMF of um, like the modem and my phone, and it was on black paper, and I was doing it in gold, and I was told that it was technology, and I was kind of laughing, saying, "But it's gold squiggles on a page," and they're like, "Yep, that's technology." So I totally hear you on that. That definitely feels like technology.
Hmm.
Oh
And there's one that I have that Rick Dewar said that this is a time machine technology from Orion.
wow, was that
Let's
this
see if
one or another one?
let's see if I can find it. Orion. Let me check. Oh yeah, this is absolutely amazing.
Wow, wow.
Mm, yeah.
Can I say any other words apart from wow?
And he said this corresponds with what happened on the 28th of December, the reset.
Yeah.
And
So
he
this was
said
the time
you
machine one.
what?
Did you say this was the time machine one?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And it is taken from
And there's a real pull in the center, towards the center, isn't there, in that as well? Like, even
mm-hmm.
though I'm looking on the outside, I really feel that pull to the center.
Mm-hmm. So imagine Rick saw this and he said, "Oh, wait, wait, stop, stop, stop," because I was showing him stuff. Go back to that one, and he could not believe. So I could not believe. Like I don't understand what I have drawn or what I have. This I didn't draw this. I make this with a program, but nevertheless, this is what I said. This I need to save this. This is I don't know what it is, but it's big. So that's what I mean. I don't know, and he understands that. He tells me what it is, and so we put it out, and then people start to react and tell me what it did to them.
Yeah.
So it's so brilliant how things work.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
can really feel a lot of activation in my head with that one.
hmm
Um,
So the original, just a second. Where is it? Just a second. Yes, there we go.
wow.
This is the original. But if you think away the purple, because the purple is just another layer of the same,
Yeah.
that would then be the original. So it's not the original, but to give you an idea of what the effect does that I put on it, or the
Mhm.
kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting words.
I'm not surprised looking at these.
And here in the center, you see a four, a four, a four, and a four.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that number is very prominent in my life. I always see it 1144, 144, everything with fours, triple four.
Yeah.
Every day it happens to me. On the road with cars, it's like ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
I found that that's just, it used to be a lot before, but it's gone to a whole new level as well these last 3 weeks or so, this last
Mm,
month.
yeah. So another one of the kaleidos that came out of this. Let me see.
That one feels like a Stargate to me as well. That's the word that's coming to my mind for that. Like, not so much time travel, but I guess time travel is in that, but um, travel, yeah, through the Stargate from one place to another.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is a nice one as well. Really love this one. Just a second. And there. That's a ship.
Oh, it is too. I'm getting Arcturian for that. I don't know what you feel.
What did you get?
Arcturian,
Arcturian.
yeah.
Yeah. Orion. This is how I named it.
Right. Okay.
Um, all right. Let's see. Something totally else. This is amazing. I took a picture of a portal outside of the house here, and then I did what I always did, and I put it into my program, and then I saw this amazing figure. I have to look at just a second. Bear with us. People still with us?
They certainly are, and I was not quite mesmerised by that.
Where are they? Oh, okay. Okay. This is not the one I want. Maybe this one. I hope this works. Okay. Hey. No. Stop share. This one. It doesn't want to share? That's weird. Just a
Maybe it's
second.
supposed to be another one.
It's not showing it, huh? Or is it?
Compared to the other ones, it's blurry.
Yeah, it's green?
Yeah.
Okay. Now here I see like a Chinese head. Here's a part of the face,
Oh yeah, yeah.
blue shoulders, her arms, her hands holding
Oh wow, yeah.
something. You see it?
Yeah.
This,
And I
this,
also see that as the face of a dragon.
yeah?
Wow. Yeah. And it's interesting that that gets clearer the more you look at it as well. Like the whole
Mm-hmm.
image gets clearer the more you look at it.
Okay, let's see if I have another one.
Yeah, I feel the dragon energy really strongly in that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see what you see in this one. You see that?
Yes. Oh, I see an eye kind of above center. Um, so is that from the last one? Is that like a zoom into the last one?
Uh, yeah, no, it's just a kaleido also.
Right. Okay.
So it's not zoomed or it's just another kaleido save.
So
Can you
what do
still
you
see?
feel from like just below center? Because I feel like I can see an eye, like the white of an eye and the blue of an eye, but not so much with a pupil. And then just below that, I do feel some elemental energy in it,
Yes.
well, like the
Hmm.
fairy energy.
Yes. I also feel that. I also see here, I see a woman, but also here, because it's mirrored, and she's looking down on the center. So if you,
Oh yeah, yeah.
this is her hair, you see, the brownish.
I'm not seeing your cursor there actually.
Huh?
I'm not seeing your cursor. Your cursor's just at the top, I think.
Let's see if I can show you another one of these series.
It also feels I feel the mantis energy with that one as well.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay, how about this one?
Mm. Yeah, I feel the elemental energy in that one as well, but also
Hmm.
there.
Yes. Okay. This, for example, is. Let's see. Can I show it now? Oh, that's a bummer. Oh yeah. Hmm. Just a second. I have something nice. Just look for the original first. Okay.
There's something quite temple. I'm getting the word temple for that last one as well. I don't know how.
What was that?
Temple. I was getting the word temple.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh my.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know where to start on that one. That one is hours of, yeah. So my initial feel was that there was an Egyptian feel to this one.
Mm, definitely. Yeah. I felt Ra, the loved one,
Yeah,
Thoth.
yeah.
Um, I had a previous life in Egypt. Did you see the show that I did with Steven, the activations?
Yes. I didn't see all of them.
So he saw me building pyramids,
Yeah.
directing the stones towards where they should be, and the stones were floating, levitated with kind of devices. And so I told this to a friend of mine that lives here, who's also Dutch, that I didn't know before I came here. Um, and he told me that when he heard me say the things that, no, I sent him the recording. So he said, wow, when I heard it, I could immediately see you um, um, as Joseph, one of the, how do you say that? High priests of the Pharaoh at that time.
Yeah.
And because Stephen saw me grow plants, food,
Yeah.
plants, kind of, and my friend saw me. He saw big silos of grain where you keep the grains, and there was a problem in that time with food. So I had to make a plan how to distribute and how we could survive probably for a certain amount of time on the food we had.
Wow. Yeah, there's so much technology in this one as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So this then, let's see. Okay. No, this one not. I'm going to find a good one.
Oh, and I hadn't even seen the pyramids at the bottom.
Oh, this is nice.
I'm so hot. Oh, nice.
So this is a kaleido shot of the picture that we saw before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, that feels really, really heart, really soothing. And especially after the intensity of the last one, it's kind of, this is quite grounding.
Mm-hmm. Yes. when we were in Ibiza last summer, I met a guy, and we spent a little time talking, and I showed him what I was drawing at that moment, which was actually the combination of the two codes that I said, Emerald and Diamond
Yeah.
Guardians. Um, I was showing him this, and I told him I'm making also videos, and I put it through a kaleidoscope program, and I make pictures of it. He said, actually, that's a very important part of bringing the codes out, because you really have to do that. It's essential that you keep doing that, because there's a lot of coding in there.
Yeah.
So that was very interesting for me to understand. And he didn't know me. He just conveyed that to me. So from this series, there is also this, and it's a different color, but the same original.
Yeah, and the emerald energy, I do associate that with heart, but I kind of associate it with higher heart as well. This
Mm-hmm.
this feels like an alignment with heart and third eye for some reason.
Mm, interesting. Oh, shoot.
It's it's got that emerald quality, but it's also got that real kind of earthy green essence to it as well.
Yes. And pink of the higher heart.
Yeah.
I think this is a nice one too. Okay. Here comes another one.
It's interesting, isn't it, that doing kaleidoscope or mirroring images, it changes their energy completely. It brings in a whole new aspect to them.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, and I'm playing, so it's like you move something over a picture, and then it will give you a result, and
Yeah.
so it takes a while before I really am satisfied um, with what I see. Like, it really needs to do
Yeah.
something to me,
Yeah.
and then I will save it.
And when you know, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, it's like like a radar or a compass, or you know.
It's a big boom.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. This one is nice as well. Oh, I have so many. Just a second. Not this
And then perhaps after the next one, we could share some light language.
one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Angel Divine is just a gateway or portal for this one. I got the same kind of Stargate for this one.
Okay. I'm almost there. Oh, wow. I have so many beautiful ones. How about this one?
Oh, wow. Beautiful color. Hmm. the little hearts there as well. This feels sometimes when I do sessions, I have the feeling to kind of download the feeling of divine love, of pure love. Because it's not always a feeling that people know or are aware of or hold in their bodies. And that's what I'm getting with this.
Okay, one more.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes.
The crown is just buzzing. Interesting. Some of them you kind of really want to look at the whole, but this one I'm really wanting to look in at the details of this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting the words alignment with higher self with this one. It is almost like it helps the how would you put it? Helps like the passageway for the higher self to be born into the physical.
Mm-hmm. It resonates. My hair of my arms and my back stand up.
Yeah. And again, that one's really pulling me into the center. That is like a kind of portal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Another gateway.
Yes.
Wow, thank you.
All right. Stop share.
Oof, that felt good.
Hmm. Where is you? Okay. Oh, we still have 20 people with us. That's amazing.
Yeah, there was someone that said before, I have to go on ground now. But
So just for people that want to um, get to my codes, but no, we will do that in the end. We'll do that in the end.
you sure? You can do that now if you want.
No, it's okay in the end.
I'll I'll let you start.
Well, actually, I would really like for you to open it as to see what comes after seeing all these codes.
Oh.
Um, it's interesting for me.
Yeah, there's so much activity still in my crown. So many cosmic activations. Artukohia arat at arki amandakele art ut ana ma ar ele on do oret an daha tukot utst erlekiem ma an dol ert an kust hinamaka odut oye lebra an tol etoko matalapatakata ana mekille paratikilla pakilla pakilla pa ella pakilla pa ana mekille parat kust allero kokokokokust ina mekille parata kierat okust atatatata an elle parata andkat at ut elle jamme arata kiema at ust kialero on tukast ai elle ira iakut ut at ast ulle parakiti ist ai adog laba kille bekille bat at ut laba kille bakata ana bekille bat laba kille bat illa pakilla podilla illa paketta ta Jelle parata kulla pakekist it arala paketla paketa en kiellä era kust eller ut at an eller hemma ana kull ist ja le erot ut arala mana killa paketast hamma hulle parata kella paket era hulle arat kella pat ihan ust elera ena makille kia parata tutul paketla ana makilla paralla pakilla paket is adala pakilla patut ututututoi han le makalla pakast urta hia mi hia paralla na killa pakilla pakutulla paketa tatoi ai adala pakilla patatututoi adala pakilla pa adala pakilla paketa tutust tatatatatatata.
لأنه لو na na la aya o ne na en gwa la ena a shi la a ina wa shna karta la afni in wa ai ina wala ane ina wala ane porta porta na kain kwasti na ahla achtak in de aarde in de wa alle eisne ege ai na eine eisne eert kama al of toort ko of no oi in ga alle ai isne in van babai na ka na wa ala ka eisne in bo ort ko is na al je na ga ala of nu ga ai ko ni eert kwaf na ni in ga ai na ai na ai ni na ai ni ma ha ya ai in full slun kwa ala ka ina wa as I ka ai. Hakina hea tek taua aia I artukua a.
Lepuka est ul a et adala a. Raki est ul namakala. Neki el liart ut oist el. Yarna and kulle ero papapait est et.
Or atapapai kai kaishna wa.
Just feeling those energies anchoring deep into Gaia, deep into our hearts.
Into our genetic makeup. That was beautiful.
Thank you for all the images, for all the codes, all the activations, the light language, for your energy, for your presence. I'm sure we will do this again.
Near the end of your first activation, my eyes, my eyes start to water down. It was very beautiful.
Yeah, interestingly, the actions, I can't quite remember what I did now, but as I was doing it, I was like, oh, I'll have to look back on that. But there was definitely a lot of stimulation, a lot of a lot kind of being brought forward from the codes. Is that right? Beautiful comments and all the hearts coming on now. Thank you, everybody who has been present with us.
Maybe somebody wants to ask questions, or you have time for that, or
Sure.
we're finished, or I just say I'm open to anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of sensation around here for me, like the high heart, thymus area just now.
Once a week if possible. It's been an honor to be here with you all.
I don't think I'll ever sleep again.
Huh?
I don't think I'll ever sleep again. Right, I'll just give it another few seconds because I know there's a bit of a delay. Yeah, we will do this again, but this has been an immensely powerful transmission.
I'm in.
We have a question from James Flanagan. Did any particular event trigger your awakening, Michael? Good question. And we're on 22.
Yeah, many events.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think it's a continuous waking up. I think that's what it means to be alive, actually. Um, but let's look for a pivotal moment, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm, yeah, around 2005, that would be. Around 2005. I saw The Secret 3 times that day for the first time, and I understood something big. So, and I had a girlfriend at that time who is a psychic woman who showed me a lot of things that I never heard of before. She learned me how to ground. She teach me how to ground, and so that was for me a very awakening time in my life. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting when you see something like The Secret, or um, oh, there was another one that I saw in 2005 as well. Um, I think the sequel to it was Down the Rabbit Hole or something, and I just can't. I've gone blank on the name of the one before that. But when you see so many other people that are either feeling the same things or are speaking what you've been feeling, yeah, that can be so activating.
Mm. Yes, I understood that the word not doesn't exist in the universe. The universe only knows what is,
Yeah,
because what is not, it's very strange to say. So that was really a awakening in my language, which helped, which opened up a lot of new things that just because I changed my language and the way of thinking, the way of reacting, the way of how you say, would you like to come to the movie? No, I don't feel like. You can also say, maybe some other time.
yeah,
Or, you understand, instead of the negative,
yeah,
you try to change it into how to stay positive in whatever you say or whatever you reply to someone. That was for me a big waking
mm,
to see how programmed I was.
yeah, yeah. What the bleep? What the bleep do we know? What the bleep was
Mm, good movie. Very good movie. Let's see. More questions?
Was it like a deep yearning from your soul or more in knowing that made you both take your path? For me, it was having a Reiki treatment, um, and feeling the energy that I didn't believe in. And I knew that it didn't fit with my model of what I felt the universe was. But it wasn't even a leap, really. It was just kind of like, uh-oh. But from that, uh-oh, I had to remodel everything, everything of what I thought the universe was. But actually, that wasn't, that sounds like a huge undertaking, but actually, it wasn't. It was a really smooth flow. And from that point, yeah, there was just a knowing, a yearning. And I went on a bit of a mission to heal, as I saw it, to heal the world at that time. And I felt that everyone deserved to be touched by that cosmic energy, that source energy. And if it didn't have the same effect on them as it did on me, then that was fine. But I felt everyone at least deserved that chance to feel that energy, because when you feel source energy, it's just incredible. You just feel you're in that space of peace, of bliss. And everyone that'll receive treatments from you as well, it's that same place that you go. It's that kind of heavenly feeling that you become, which is so different from this apparent world that we're living in. And it just shows you that there's more. um, yeah, how about you?
For me, um, deep yearning from your soul, or more knowing. For me, it was more a knowing than a yearning. Um, and I was always interested in psychics. I rather would go to a psychic than to a psychologist or someone that works with a pendulum,
Yeah,
rather than somebody that I have to tell now my whole story. No, you tell me, please, because that's why I'm here. I don't want to tell you all my story. So um, it was always kind of a knowing, um, and then it became a yearning. Like once I got the taste, I was unstoppable. So
yeah.
I attracted also a psychic uh, partner into my life, um, which was very important for me. Um, um, Seeing where I am today, that was really very important station.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was always a kind of a knowing. Like I said, when I was young, I could see the world differently. I could see no more war and people healed by just,
Yeah,
like Jesus
yeah,
would do.
yeah, I
So
do that.
yeah,
And there are often clues along the way that you kind of take in, but they it's almost like they act as keys and unlock something. But for me, it was that treatment that was the huge key, the huge unlocking. But
mm-hmm.
even reading the Celestine prophecy in the 90s, that was pretty big as well. And it was like I knew, I felt the truth in that. Um, so yeah, I hear you on the knowing, and then that becomes a yearning for more as well. It's kind of like
Yes,
you want more
yes,
information, you want more knowledge, and
yeah,
it's such an interesting journey as well.
it is, it is. And it's funny, just to um, my mom tried to stop it. You know, like she would call this psychic man that, and I was 35, something like that, 30, 35, and I came there and this guy said, "Listen, Mike, I have to tell you something." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Your mom called me." I said, "Okay." She made an appointment. I was excited. She made it. No, she didn't make an appointment. She asked me to tell you that I cannot treat you anymore
Wow.
because whatever. And I said, "Seriously?" "Yeah, seriously." So that made my yearning and my even more big.
Yeah,
Like she helped me
yeah.
without knowing it. So she tried to stop it, but it made it bigger.
Ain't that the way? And I think often once these doors are open and you start on this journey, that you can't go back through those doors. It's just moving forward in that direction. You can't return to who you were.
No, impossible.
Yeah,
Even if you would want to. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Not really, I see. Robin says, all selves activated. As, wow, lol, Michael, that was an activation with mum.
So does Michael have a message for us?
Uh, yeah, I do, actually. And the message is, I have so much to say. Would be like a binge. Um, to keep it simple and short, neutrality is something that will serve us in a huge way today and in the days to come. No matter what will be shown, um, what might occur, what might happen, stay in the 0 point, in the neutrality. Don't have opinion. Don't judge. And in neutrality, we don't need compassion either. We just need to be in the observing phase. Because neutrality is not good, not bad, not black, not white, not tall, not short. It's just whatever is. But we label, we judge, not from a bad place, but that's just a program. So for us, it's to be aware of the program, to be as neutral as possible, to just observe. What am I thinking? What am I saying? What's the words that I use? Is this what I really want to say? What would love say? Or do? Or think? But there's so much going on right now that is asking us for opinions and to take a side and to choose, and but that is still in the 3D story, the duality, the polarities. So stay in the now, in the here, and try to not have an opinion. How small they might be, just practice it, to be free of opinion. Hey mom, how's that dress? I don't know. But you don't have opinion? No? It's funny and it's weird. But shall I wear this or that? Just do what you feel like. Don't ask anybody for what they might think about it. Just do, feel, follow your heart, and be neutral. And that doesn't mean that you don't care and that you don't see, but you just refrain from reacting in an old way. And peace and love.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
For me as well.
And yeah, we will do this again soon, I'm sure. And thank you, everyone, for all your support and your comments.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yes.
right.
Thank you all for watching, for being with us, and see you sooner.
Love, 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 love. And there is a love speaks. Oh, there was something you wanted to add at the end. Was that how to get hold of you?
What? Ah, yeah. We have a website called light-walkers, lightwalkers.org. Um, Please visit. We have a group called Lightwalkers Walk With Us. Um, Join us, walk with us, and let's walk each other home. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you. And there is a Love Speaks Love page as well. If anybody feels to connect with that, give it a like. That would be awesome. What's your YouTube channel?
YouTube, Lightwalkers, walking each other home. And you can find everything also on my profile, Michael White Feather. There's Michael White Feather music and visuals, which is a page. All activations are also in my wall on YouTube. So people can ask me, you can write me a message. I'm very easygoing.
And it's probably easier to tick the follow button on your page as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? Than,
Yes. Yes. Rather to follow me than to ask for friendship. Because most people ask friendship and they don't really communicate. If you really want to communicate, you can ask me for friendship and I will add you with love.
awesome. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you
Much
too.
love. Love,
Bye.
love, 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 love,
Bye.
love, love. See you next time.